Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to the next episode review for Aharen-San, episode 9. I think it's called I kinda have a cold. And once again, my Aharen-San is once again is outright hilarious. It has just been really such a great series to watch. I mean, the more it keeps going, it's hard for me to say that this is being up there next to My Dress Up Darling in terms of romantic comedies, and or slice of life. But Aharen-San it's been an outright and enjoyable series to watch. Especially opening the start of this episode is when Raidou, he comes down with a cold, right? And all of a sudden from that mean, boring looking face he has turns into something new, And immediately back with that teacher from the last episode where he sees how, because nobody knows that he's sick and all that. He just started just unbuttoning his shirt and all that stuff because he's so hot, right? From the cold, and then once again the teacher just outright just bursts out, spitting blood out. Once again. And then even with Aharen, she blushes when she sees Raidou looking so different, right? Even their other classmates, including Oshiron, once again Aharon's childhood friend, right? They come in and they see Raidou's new look, and they all also just taking immediate liking. It just kind of reminds me of in the episode of SpongeBob, the two faces of Squidward, where all of a sudden he gets a new look, new face, right, and everyone just loves him. But by the time his face returns back to normal, everyone's like, yeah, boring once again, right? It pulls to me. I say it pulls an immediate SpongeBob, Squidward, the two faces of Squidward moment. Raidou has that boring, mean look on his face, though, right? Until he gets away when he gets sick and all this sick, has a cold, and it pulls that new look on his face. Everyone they all just gush over, right? Even Aharen is like, ooh, ooh. So yeah, everyone was just gushing over his new face look, right? Because he's so sick, right? Even when he gets home, his sister, Raidou's little sister, kind of was almost acknowledging the same way though, but she didn't want any of that. She just told him to go to lie down and drink some water. And by the time it gets better, how the end of that episode of SpongeBob, when he gets Squidward returns back to normal, everyone's like, yeah, that's it. So by the time he turns back, he gets all better and back at school, the friends and the classmates, they're like, okay, that's it. Yeah, it's I don't give a damn anymore. It reminds me instantly of that, I mean, that was just downright hilarious. I mean, just Raidou having this new, just this hot look to him because he's so sick, right? Just everyone's like, oh, and then by the time he gets better, oh, okay. I mean, this show is like I said, a lot of the show has so many of this hilarious moments. I just think that's what makes the show so great. And later, when after school, then Raidou is walking and he sees what he assumes to be Aharen, but he's thinking wait, did she grow up a bit more? It turns out it's another sibling of hers. It's her little sister, but the thing is though, her Aharon's little sister is much taller than she is and much more mature. Of course. Kind of takes play how people are just growing up differently, right? Yeah, Aharen has a little sister, but she's much more taller than she is, and more of a serious attitude, right? When Raidou meets her, right? She has a sword, and she has this evil aura around her, right? Acting a little hostile to Raidou a bit, and And that so now that because because now Ahiren, she has the cold now. She got it from Raidou, and her sister was getting some medical supplies for her, and she wanted Raidou to give this to her, right? Because thing is, though, her sister was called Iru. She cares a lot about her sister. She cares like a little bit overprotective of her sister. She cares about her so much. But the thing is, though, she wants to give it to Raidou. Think of one thing that he got that stuff for her. But even though Raidou says, "Why don't you give it to her?" though, but she doesn't want. She want him to give it to her. And then there was this prize that once again the crane game. She tries to win it. She doesn't. Raidou wins it, and it's the same thing. Why did you give this to her? But it's like, no, you won this for her. So it's time when they get to her house, right? And Raidou goes immediately tells Ahiren, "Oh, this is the stuff that your sister bought and the prize that she wanted for you." Right? Basically putting her on the spotlight, saying, "Okay, yeah, that was very kind of you, sister." Right? But yeah, because Raidou's an honest guy, right? Because she did all that for her, right? Which was because it shows like how Raidou is an honest guy, and then by the time they stay for dinner, right? Well, cook dinner. Raidou stays for cooking dinner. And my funny thing is how he goes in the bag, and he takes out this huge giant ass tuna, which somehow that was able to fit in the side of a small bag of theirs. Which that was another hilarious thing. How the giant tuna how it fit in that small bag, and Raidou was like seeing Iru just chopping up that huge tuna with that sword. And then she tells him how she feels about being a sister, protecting Reina, Ahiren's first name, Reina, loving her so much, right? And he's even asking a point of Raidou, what do you think of her, right? And there's a point where her brother, Reina's brother, Ren, is a point where he asks Raidou, I was like, "Are you dating her?" Because that kind of brings to the question, like we're asking, is he dating Reina? Although Raidou doesn't deny it though, I don't think, but he got a little bit anxious about that because Boone asked that question though. Which kind of leads me from the last episode because, from the last episode at the festival where Raidou wanted Ahiren to hold his hand, right? And even Ahiren was kind of like thought it was kind of a lewd thing, because of wanting to hold hands, right? So I like to bring up the question. I was like, "Oh, are you dating her?" And even the point where when Aharon is like hugging Raidou, even her sister kind of looks like, oh, okay. Even the brother though, he's even asking it because earlier the brother Ren was grocery shopping, right, and they were buying all this stuff, right, and kind of forgot the wallet for the money for the errands, like other the fact that basically he had two separate wallets, right? A wallet for which is his money, and the money, the wallet where it had the money for the errands, right? So the money doesn't get mixed up, right? Well, he lost that wallet, the money for the errand money, right? So it was like because once again, Raidou with all this crazy his crazy imagining, right? His crazy imagination thinking, I think he's going to go to a big credit card debt or something like that, right? And Ren's like, no, I'm just going to put these snacks back, because until we get the money, right, for dinner and all this stuff, right? I know once again, Raidou's imagination, how he just jumps to the wrong conclusion is always just so funny, And then even Raidou, he even offers to pay for the money, but the thing is, though, he has no money because he's always been kind of a broke guy, right? So yeah, he has no money, but so then Randy offers his own money from his own wallet and pays for it. And when they leave the store, their dog finds the wallet, has the wallet in its mouth, right? So it just shows that the family also just has a loyal dog, such a loyal dog, a big dog. So, and like I said, after that, how the siblings are asking, like, how does Raidou think about Aharon? Are they going out? Are they dating? Which, like I said, how last episode they were holding hands, right? Which kind of makes me raise the question, maybe by the end of the season, maybe we'll get like not a kiss, obviously, but maybe like a confession or something like that, right? Well, I don't know. Who knows? We'll see, though. But anyway, this is another really great episode. Like, the whole thing with now see more like Aharon with her family, like with more time with her siblings. That was nice to see at the like eating at the dinner table, and the whole thing with the beginning of the episode with Raidou being sick but looking all hot. Well, he's hot because he's so sick, right? But just having that like pulling that new Squidward look on his face, right? That everyone's like gushing over. By the time he goes back to normal, like, oh, okay, whatever, back to being boring, right? That was hilarious, and the whole thing with, like I said, with meeting with Aharon's other sibling, her little sister, with, like I said, but even though she's much more taller than she is and much more like a serious attitude, right? So it was nice to see more another sibling and seeing her spend time with her family, with her siblings at the table. That was nice. And the whole thing with the brother asking, if Raidou's dating her and what he thinks of of him as a big brother, right? Which all that was really good. Look, it just brings out how sense of these characters and their chemistry between all of each other is really makes the show really great, right? And we obviously know that Raidou has obviously big chemistry with Aharon, right? So I like how they ask the question, how they're assuming are they dating or whatever. So maybe we'll get a confession by the end of this series. Who knows? But yeah, once again, another really funny episode, but another good episode as well. So that's episode 9 of Aharen-San. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode review for Spy Family. Later.